Yeah, Bentley. Yeah, I think it was 60,000 people got into, come on Bentley, Ceuta yesterday. I think they got in by swimming down the coast. Hang on, let me see if I can get you. That's the giant man in his Tommy Robinson shrine. Yeah, I mean, I've been there. It's like a little enclave, little Spanish town on the edge of Morocco, and it's pretty crazy. Anyway, there's sort of wild men running around and stuff, and when you go through the border, through the fences, through the bit, there's like men who are pretending to be officials who want to come and take your passport. You don't know who's real because the officials are kitted out really poorly, so you can't really tell. It's a scruffy man who comes and says he wants your passport. Anyway, they try and get in, and then when you go through there, it takes ages to get through. Well, not ages, but 3 or 4 hours to get through. And then when you drive out into Morocco, it's like going into the Walking Dead. There's just like loads of them outside trying to jump on your car and get in and stuff. And then sometimes once you've got past the crowd who are trying to rob you, once you get past them, there's like bandit cars that follow you and try and pull you over and try and get you to buy hash. Or we quickly tried to get down to or Chef Shawan was where we got to, which was our sanctuary. We had a campsite there which we set up. We got chased a few times on the way there by bandits, and but once in there they had like people who patrolled the borders with baseball bats, like in the woods there'd be people trying to sell you hash and stuff. If you walk down into the town, into Chef Shawan town, you'd get like 10 or 15 people who give you chunks of like 16th size chunks of hash as samples. Plenty to smoke, plenty enough to smoke for the day, and you come back with all these little bits. But of course, like when you next went down there, they were assuming or hoping that you were going to buy a lot off them, because most people go there do smuggle. We weren't smuggling, I'll say on this video anyway. But also I went up in the woods one time when I was there, and there was like these brown paper wraps, and it was like being out on the outside of these blocks of the kind of cheap shit hash that they sell to England, like soap bar stuff. But there was chunks in the wrapping that had come away as the size of an eighth, like pieces that would just be thrown away in the woods because it was so shit. Of course, we didn't smoke that there. We smoked oils and top quality hashes and stuff. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful country, Morocco. You don't realise when you come down through Spain, which is pretty barren, you expect Morocco is going to be like desert-like, which I think it is partly like that, but the north of it is really green and really beautiful, and yeah, Chef Shawan's a beautiful place. But what I was thinking about was in Ceuta, 60,000 people came, come on Benny, come on, got into there yesterday. I don't know how they got in. I think they went swam, because you can, it's actually a little it's actually on the same coast. It is in Morocco, you know what I mean? It's a little chunk of Morocco that's Spanish still, part of Europe, so they've got into Europe at that point. But imagine, I was just trying to imagine the chaos it must have been, because it's a chaotic town anyway. But with 60,000 Africans trying to get into Europe, it must be fucking crazy. I think they herded them out somehow. It's weird as well when you're coming back through, you don't really understand the reason. It's not that smuggling's you get busted for it, but there's blokes walking through who live Moroccans, and they just walking through with carrier bags full of the stuff, cars full of stuff. But unless you know the right people as you're coming through the border, you get your van searched, and you can get caught for smuggling, but you know, they will build it in for you. They'll be, you know, if you go into the Rift Mountains, they'll get out your van and make sure it's all safe and stuff. And obviously we didn't do that, but yeah, I just thought I'd have a little thought about what went on. What went on there yesterday must have been chaos. Must have been absolutely terrifying, really. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about. I know it's a popular subject, all the migrant crossings and stuff, and I heard that yesterday 1,000 people came across in boats, and if that's happening every day, 1,000, you know, fighting aged males, and these 60,000 in Ceuta were fighting aged males, you know, it's quite scary what's going on. I can see why people are getting scared about it, and they do need to do something about it. They've got a real problem if they don't. But of course, like I don't want to sound like Tommy Robinson, but 60,000, 1,000 people a day coming through, it costs, they estimate, 40,000 quid to prep well in hotel bills and benefits while they're waiting to be processed. Before it's decided whether they'll be allowed to stay in England or whatever. But if it's 1,000 people a day and each one of those is costing 40,000 a year, you can imagine the amount of money that's being spent. But I mean, like I say, it's nothing compared to what was going on in that little bit of Spain, that enclave of Spain. It's not far across. I mean, that's why it's always been a good hash run, I suppose, because I think it's only about 12 miles across. It's where all the swifts and house martins and swallows go across. All the birds, migratory birds, go down through that little gap from Europe into top of Africa into Morocco. So it's a really important place for so many reasons. But Matt, a little comment on the news. I'm not giving an opinion, but it's a scary thing. Okay.